Good morning, everybody. I'm Alex Arcuglia, and this is The Morning Rant, the show in which I talk about my life as a developer and a TV commercial director. Today, I want to talk about my upcoming app. I hope that it will be released this year. I promise to release it in the fall 2023. Cross your finger, because today maybe I will switch to the beta testing phase and the alpha testing. What is this app and why I consider it a maximum viable product instead of a minimal viable product? Okay, the purpose of this app is to take a video source, such as this one I'm recording right now, and to cut all the pauses of the speech. You know, if you interview someone, if you're doing a monologue like me, if you do something that involves people speaking, that is not fiction, you have a lot of pauses. People take pauses to breathe, to think about what they're talking next. I do a lot of pauses because I'm talking in English. It's not my mother tongue. And so I'm very stressed because sometimes I cannot think directly in English and I have to translate stuff from Italian. Okay? The idea for this app came to me something like 2 or 3 years ago from one of my customers who wrote a comment in an older YouTube video. And I started developing this just to handle the things that I record. I started doing the morning rant in English a couple months ago, but I'm doing the morning rant in Italian since something like 2 years. And so 18 months ago, I started developing this app, and the kernel, the minimal business logic was ready in a couple days. You know, doing a prototype is one thing. Converting this prototype into a product is a whole another stuff, okay? If I should tell you about this app, from your point of view, I would like to show you a little demo, okay? Now, my face will be hidden and you will see the desktop of my computer. The app is quite simple in its basic form. You have some videos, just like this one. You drag them into the app, and then you just click the button Analyze. Analyzes the audio, the video files, and then with the clustering engine, finds the segments of the video in which there is someone talking, and discard the other segments. After the analysis, you can see in the lower right corner the original duration and the actual duration of the cutted videos. And then you just press Export to FCP to have this video in a timeline in Final Cut Pro with all the cuts. And so you just have to scrub around the video to listen to the audio to find other places in which you must do other cuts. You know, the app right now analyzes just the speech and not the content of the speech. There's no artificial intelligence involved, except for the part in which the app is trying to understand if the noise, if the volume of the audio is from a talking person or from a background noise, such as this one in this car. And that's it, okay? Drag the videos, click Analyze, and then click Export to FCP. And that will be a very, very cool minimal viable product. But I had a big problem, because when I started developing this app, there were no dialogue isolation. There were no dialogue isolation in Final Cut Pro. And this car is quite noisy. It's not an electric car, it's an old car, it's a cheap car. And so there's a lot of background noise. And back then, I didn't have the skill to identify speaking parts, the segments of the audio in which there's someone speaking or talking. In the end, this analysis is not so precise as the cluster-based noise gate that I developed many years ago. And so I started thinking about, what if I do the analysis after I pre-process the audio? And so something like 17 months ago, I added another feature of this app that allows you to export the audio track of the video directly to iZotope RX to perform a basic audio cleaning. Basic, very super cool audio cleaning. The same engine for dialogue isolation in Final Cut Pro, I bet is the same of the engine of the iZotope RX. And then I started doing analysis on this audio. And then I started adding stuff to this app because I needed it. You know, if you think about all the people are doing monologues like me or doing interviews, a very little small percentage of them needs to do an audio cleaning before, but I needed, and so I added this huge, gigantic feature to this app that can be useful only for myself. And so the app started becoming immediately a not minimal valuable product. And then I added a lot of stuff, because if I do the morning rant in English, and I still do in Italian, I needed an intro, an outro, and another video segment that can work as an in-between between two videos. And so I added this stuff too to create something like a template of a basic show. So if you have this kind of structure, you can already have a starting jingle, an end jingle, and a jingle in between. And this can save you something like 30, 40, 60 seconds of editing. But it's something that I like, because in this way I don't need to drag stuff, perform this kind of editing, but just focus on the editing of the content. And this stuff too is not something that you can add to a minimal viable product. And then yesterday I added the possibility to incorporate an external audio file, because since yesterday I didn't know how to do synchronized clips, because as today the app does not audio synchronization, and it won't do this until version 2, because I don't know how to do audio synchronization, and I don't want to do audio synchronization because this is something that Final Cut Pro does better. Again, the app doesn't do multicam, and I don't want to do this because, oh my god, there were Pluralize that now reached the end of line from Maxon. Shame on you. And there is the automatic synchronization and multicam in Final Cut Pro. This app is intended just for people like me who does stuff with only one camera and with the audio already synchronized. I can think about audio synchronization and multicam, but that's not something that I can do today, not in this version. If I will do this, the app will come out something like 1 year after, and I don't want to wait, because I need some of your money. I need your money to become a very rich person. Now the app has two interfaces, one for basic stuff, that is the one that I showed you before, and one for the very professional stuff, in which you can do a lot of controls, add effects, filters, audio cleaning, stuff like that. I think that it will be a very powerful app. I like it. I don't know if I love it, because I stopped loving apps long ago, but I think it's very cool, and it's a viable help for automatic editing. I think that a feature like this one, automatic pause cutting, should be nested inside the Final Cut Pro, brought by Apple. But Apple stopped developing Final Cut Pro, and then we have to do this ourselves. And so if your NLE is Final Cut Pro, this will be a very valuable product for you. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for listening or watching me or something like me. I'd like to hear your comments below, because I want to have a feedback about this app and the way it has been developed. I hope you hear your thoughts soon. I suggest you to click on the subscribe button and on the bell, so you can be notified when a new video will be released, but I don't want to force you. I know that. This is not a very cool YouTuber will do, but I'm not a very cool YouTuber. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching me, and ciao!